Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here with all of you, the future leaders of the Europe Hotel School. Now, when you dream of running a hotel, what do you picture? I bet it's the grand lobby, happy guests, a bustling restaurant, right? But here's the thing. Long before any of that happens, the most crucial work is being done, on a spreadsheet. Today, we're going to demystify the financial journey of launching a brand new hotel.
You see, we're diving into one of the most critical roles a general manager plays, and that's managing the money before the doors even open. For anyone who truly wants to run a hotel, knowing the numbers isn't just a nice-to-have skill, it is the absolute bedrock of a successful launch.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll explore the GM's big-picture financial role. Then, we're going to get into the real nitty-gritty of the pre-opening budget. After that, we'll tackle the huge question of how you pay the bills before you have any guests. We'll also cover how to sidestep some really common financial traps, and we'll wrap it all up with the one key mindset that will set you on a clear path to profit. Let's get started. First up, the GM's role as a financial steward. As the general manager, you are the #1 guardian of the owner's investment. And that job, it starts the second you're hired, often while the hotel is still just a construction site. It's about protecting so much more than just the physical building. I absolutely love this quote because it nails a key idea. Think of it like this. The construction budget builds the house, right? But the pre-opening expense budget, or POE, is what turns that house into a home. This is the money that breathes life into the building, that funds the soul of the hotel. Everything from hiring your first manager to launching that big marketing campaign that tells the world you've arrived. Okay, so if the POE budget is the soul, how exactly do you manage it? Well, that brings us to mastering the budget itself. And let me be clear, this is not just some boring list of costs, it's your strategic blueprint for a flawless opening day. As GM, one of your first and most important jobs is to make sure the owners understand this difference. Capital expenditures? That's the building, the concrete, the furniture, all the physical stuff. But operating expenses, which includes these pre-opening costs, that's the money you need to actually run the business. Getting this distinction right is absolutely fundamental to earning an owner's trust from day one.
So let's put a clear definition on it. The POE budget is your startup fund. It's your war chest. It has to cover every single cost you have before the hotel opens its doors and makes its very first dollar in revenue. And inside that budget, there's one number you have to watch like a hawk: the burn rate. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's how much cash you're burning through every single month before you open. Keeping that burn rate under tight control is absolutely crucial for staying on track.
So what are you actually spending this money on? Well, we're talking about very real, tangible costs. It's the salary for your director of sales, who you probably hired 9 months early to start building a client base. It's the rent for a tiny office trailer on the construction site. It's flying your key team members out for mandatory brand training. You see, it all adds up fast.
All right, so picture this. You've spent months building the physical hotel, you've assembled a brilliant team, the doors are about to open. But a huge question is hanging in the air. How do you possibly fund the operation before cash from guests starts flowing in?
And that question brings us to our next crucial topic: fueling those initial operations. The answer is a completely separate pot of money called working capital.
Think of working capital as the fuel in your tank on opening day. It's the cash you absolutely need to get through those first few really tough months. Because, let's be honest, most hotels lose money at first while they're working to build up occupancy. Working capital is the financial bridge that carries you safely over to profitability.
And here's exactly what that fuel is for. You need cash on hand to make that very first payroll for your entire staff. You need it to cover that first, often massive electricity bill. And, of course, you have to stock all the bars and kitchens with food and liquor. Working capital pays for all of this before you've collected nearly enough from guests to cover it yourself. All right, now for a quick word of warning. Let's talk about the financial traps that can completely sink a hotel launch. You know, even the most perfect-looking budget can get totally derailed by hidden costs, and being aware of them is really your only defense. Honestly, one of the biggest mistakes a new GM can make is forgetting to budget for these so-called hidden costs. These are the expenses that are just so easy to overlook, but believe me, they can blow a massive hole right through your budget if you're not prepared. Let me give you a couple of classic examples. That first time you fire up and test the entire building's air conditioning system, the utility bill can be absolutely shocking.
Or what about your soft opening? The cost of giving away, or comping, free rooms and meals for training and feedback can skyrocket if you're not super careful. You just have to be brutally realistic about these things.
So how do you navigate all of this and guarantee a strong start? Well, it all comes down to our final point, the path to profitability. And that path, my friends, is paved with financial discipline, starting from day one.
The core mindset you have to adopt is what I call checkbook accounting. It's simple, really. You have to treat the hotel's pre-opening budget just like it's your own personal checkbook. Before you write a single check, you ask yourself, is this absolutely essential? Every dollar spent has to be a direct investment in a successful launch. There is zero room for nice-to-haves.
And when you do that, when you master that pre-opening budget, you secure the right amount of working capital, and you maintain that strict checkbook discipline, you achieve the ultimate goal. You prevent the hotel from being born into debt. You give it a real fighting chance by starting its life on a solid, stable financial foundation, completely ready to become profitable.
And so, we're going to end with a question I want you to carry with you into your careers. As you imagine your own opening day approaching, with all the excitement and all the pressure that comes with it, just ask yourself this. Is your checkbook balanced? Your ability to confidently answer yes will, in many ways, define your success as a leader.